Hello guys, good morning. You are welcome to my channel. You're welcome to Catfish Solution Place. Today I'll be talking about one of the most important part of fish farming, which is feed formulation, how to produce your feed. Because at present, why this video at this time, I have to come to a conclusion yesterday that I need to make this video, most especially because of the present crisis, economic crisis we are having in the country. A lot of farms have been shutting down. Most of farmers have been depressed, and the business is not really going as usual. So I deem it fit to come along today to bring out to you maybe this topic may solve one or two challenges of some farmers, and I know this will help a lot, because I'm going to talk about the most very aspect of fish farming that is taking well over 70 to 80% of the day-to-day running expenses of farmers, and I'm going to target to which way forward. What can we do? What alternative can we have in order to secure our business? Because at this present, it comes to my notice that nobody is helping. The government are not helping. The family and friends are not helping. With the little amount you have, you need to help yourself. And to help yourself, that means you have to cut your coat according to your sizes, depending on this farm value chain you are tapping into. But despite all the value chain of catfish farming you may be tapping into, the most important part that is the overhead is too high is the feed. How to produce your own feed, how to feed your fishes, how to source for your feed, and how to get your feed. So this video is going to be an elaborate video, and I will be taking this as a class. I'll be taking it as a class. Try to manufacture and produce our feed ourselves. This is the high time for us to have in-depth knowledge about feed formulation. That means maybe if you have 5,000 pieces of fishes, if you have 10,000 pieces of fishes, and you calculate the cost, that one, for me to have a machine myself, that means a production machine myself that can use to produce your own feed yourself, which can enhance and enable you to cut your cost of production. You may then look towards it and get that machine and phantom it into your cost of production. And by the end of the day, maybe you can be able to feed your fishes maybe 1,000 pieces of fishes before with just 800,000 naira. And once you have this machine, this can help you in feeding your fishes for 500,000 naira. So saving 300,000 naira at multiple and at time basis will help you in order to pay up the money of your machine that you're using to produce the feed. And by the end of the day, this will start generating more profit for your farm. So that is what I'll be talking today. So fully today I'll be going into teaching of feed formulation in catfish farming. For what really happened is that I do notice that fish business is not a joke. People thought it was a joke. Many people dabble into fish farming maybe for leisure. Many people start fish farming maybe for exhibiting to friends and family that comes to their compound to show them the sizes of the fishes they have. They do not take it very, very serious, and people take it as a joke. So, but to me, I can count out nothing less than 200 businesses you can start up in Nigeria with 500,000 naira and with 1 million naira. But for you to invest maybe 1 million naira, 10 million naira, 20, 30, 40, 50 million naira into catfish farming, to me, is not a joke. So why, to me, why wasting your money? You have to try to learn and have good understanding about the business. Yeah, there are different stages of catfish growth. It runs from the fryers for those of us that are producing. But if you are running grow out, this run basically from juvenile. But most people prefer producing taking fingerlings. But to me, when you are counting, when you start counting the age of your grow out, it's better you start counting from juvenile when they are picking the size of 2 mm feed. So from this where we will start up, and from this is where the teaching will start. So I told you earlier, the teachings may take a longer period, concurrently, maybe 3 times in a week now. So you'll be enjoying this teaching virtually about fish farming. Generally, I'll be talking about fish farming, but I'm starting with feed production. Once you understand how to formulate your feed, once you understand most things about fish farming, this teaching will allow you either to try to get your own extruder, or how to get your pellet to start producing your feed at your own space at this given period. I said once again is that virtually people started from fingerlings, and the feed, the feed are denoted in mm. We normally call it mm. That means we are from 0.1, which that means the day old fryer, 3 days old fryer's pit. But presently, when we are talking about grow out, we are talking about fingerlings production. So I will be telling you the sizes of mm that feed started speaking when they are very, very small. When the feeds are produced from the breeder, they started eating what we call the 0.1 mm, which is very, very small and tiny feed. Note that this is a teaching. I'm teaching. We started the teaching, and the teaching is going to take for a long time. You'll be enjoying this teaching from this video maybe 2 or 3 times in a week. So I'm going to be telling you, fully teaching you feed formulation, training you people how to be profitable in your fish farming. Once again, my name still remains Odutola Isa Abiodun DTM, your great uncle on this channel, and I know this is Catfish Solution Place. And note, Catfish Solution Place is a subsidiary of AG Wales Nigeria, which we have been a registered company in Nigeria for well over 22 years ago. So we have started farming, and we have been training, we have been teaching, we have been consulting for a lot of farms in Nigeria for a very, very long time, and it's been registered by the name AG Wales Nigeria. So AG Wales Catfish Solution is a subsidiary of AG Wales Nigeria, which we do most of our teaching, and we tagged it Catfish Solution Academy. So in here we do most of our teachings. We train you how to be professional in fish farming and other aspects of fish farming. So let's continue. We denote the sizes from the fryer stage, which we called 0.1 mm. The next one, after then, the fishes will start picking maybe after 1 week. Let me just count so that you can fully understand, because we give them, depending from the hatchery, we give them for 5 days, 3-4 days, depending on how fast the fishes are growing. But let me just target that you give them for 5 days or just 1 week, and you now change over to 0.2 for a week. Then we now go to 0.3. So after our 0.3, we go to 0.5 mm. So after the 0.5 again, we double into the 0.7 mm. But note, most of this feed from different producers are tagged in ranges. Some will target 0.3 to 0.5, but the likes of Coppens 0.5 to 0.8, depending. And note, we have what we call the skirting scramble too as well. We call all these fish crumbles because they are in powdering form. So all these feed are denoted based on different producers. But for a layman that maybe you want to start producing yourself, that is why I'm trying to denote you the sizes of feed we have available for catfish that they give fish every given period. That means as they are growing from the first age, that means as they start growing from the day one. So after the 0.17, that means sure we target 0.5 to 0.8, but after the 0.7 we have what we call the 1 mm. Yeah, after the 1 mm, I think yeah, Coppens don't have 1 mm. Coppens have maybe 0.8 to 1.2. Yeah, I think I'm right. And I know Skretting have 1 mm, purely 1 mm. Yeah, so you can really understand depending on the brand of feed you are buying. But to me, we have best food around that is being imported into the country. We have, for the crumbles, we have the likes of Coppens, we have the likes of Alaqua, we have the likes of Skretting, we have the likes of German Wind, we have the likes of what's the name of this other one? We have many of them. We have a lot of crumbles around that you can get depending on the location you are. If you're outside the country, I know you have the crumbles too as well. Note the 0.1 I mentioned for fryers, for those of you who asked that question, the 0.1 I mentioned, you can also use what we call the Artemia. Artemia is basically 0.1. So you can use the Artemia too as well if you can access that. And you can use Artemia for 1 week, 2 weeks, depending. And if you know how to use Artemia, everything is stated and written at the label. So for those of you who can access Artemia, but I know the likes of German Wind as what we call the 0.1 now, and other feed available now as what we call the 0.1 mm. So after, then we now go to 0.5. After 1.5, sorry, after 1 mm, we go to 1.5 mm. So after one, that we go to 1.8 mm. So after then we go to 2 mm. So after 2 mm, you can go to your 4 mm. But note, from these stages, we have what we call the different sizes of die. So you don't make mistake on that. If you are using an extruder, you can, maybe if you are using a well sophisticated extruder, the bigger extruder, this can give you those sizes without problem, no problems at all. But if you are going into the locally made extruder, or you are going into the fabricated sinking feed, the sizes may change. That means from 2 mm you may be jumping to 3 mm. After 3 mm you may be jumping to what we call the 4.5 for the sinking feed. But for the extruder, we have what we call the 4 mm. So from there you go to 6 mm and you go to 9 mm size. 9 mm size, I do understand some producers do produce even more than 9 mm, depending if you can have the dye yourself. Maybe you have bigger fish in your pond and you thought 9 mm is too small for them, you can go for 12 mm depending on if you can fabricate your extruder yourself. So this takes care of this topic today. So the next topic, next time, will be coming up with teachings on feed formulation. We still continue on feed formulation, so watch.